What's up everyone, and welcome back to the channel. The 2024 NFL Draft is officially in the books, and wow, what a roller coaster it was. From historic quarterback runs to shocking trades and head-scratching picks, this draft had it all. Today, we're going to break down the biggest winners, the most surprising moments, and which teams just set themselves up for a Super Bowl run. So grab your jerseys, settle in, and let's get into it. The story of the first round, without a doubt, was the quarterbacks. For the first time ever, we saw 6 quarterbacks taken in the top 12 picks. It was an absolute frenzy. Of course, it all started as expected, with Caleb Williams going number 1 overall to the Chicago Bears. The city of Chicago is buzzing, and for good reason. Williams has that rare blend of arm talent, creativity, and leadership that could finally solve the Bears' long-standing quarterback puzzle. Pairing him with weapons like DJ Moore and Rome Odunze, who they snagged at number 9, is a must. The future is bright in the Windy City. Right after Williams, we saw Jaden Daniels head to the Washington Commanders at number 2, followed by Drake May to the New England Patriots at 3. Both teams desperately needed a franchise signal caller, and both got their guy. Daniels brings explosive dual-threat ability to Washington, while May offers the prototypical size and arm strength that New England has been missing since Tom Brady left. These young QBs are stepping into huge roles, and the pressure is on. But the real drama started at pick number 4. The Atlanta Falcons pulled off the biggest shocker of the night. Selecting quarterback Michael Penix Jr., this was a stunner. Considering they just signed Kirk Cousins to a massive $180 million contract, you could feel the collective gasp across the league. Was this a succession plan, a safety net for Cousins' Achilles injury? The Falcons' front office is betting on the future, but it's a massive gamble that left many, including Kirk Cousins himself, reportedly confused. It's a move that will be debated for years to come. Then we saw the Minnesota Vikings make their move, trading up 1 spot to number 10 to select J.J. McCarthy. After losing Kirk Cousins, the Vikings were determined to get their quarterback of the future, and they did. McCarthy is a proven winner, and he lands in a perfect situation with elite weapons like Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. It's a great fit, and just 2 picks later, the Denver Broncos took Bo Nix at number 12, giving Sean Payton his new quarterback project. That's 6 QBs in the top 12, truly unprecedented stuff. But this draft wasn't just about the quarterbacks. We saw an offensive explosion in the first round. A record-breaking 14 offensive players were taken to start the draft, showing a clear league-wide trend. You need firepower to win. Marvin Harrison Jr. went to the Cardinals at 4, giving Kyler Murray a true number 1 receiver. Malik Nabers landed with the Giants at 6, bringing some much-needed electricity to their offense. And Joe Alt, the first offensive lineman off the board, went to the Chargers at 5 to protect Justin Herbert. Teams were loading up on offense, and it was exciting to watch. Let's talk about some of the teams that absolutely nailed this draft. Who are the big winners? For me, the Chicago Bears stand out. Not only did they get their franchise quarterback in Caleb Williams, but they also managed to grab a top-tier receiver in Rome Odunze at pick 9. That's an A-plus draft right there. They've surrounded their rookie QB with legitimate weapons from day one. General Manager Ryan Poles has completely transformed this roster. Another winner has to be the Philadelphia Eagles. Howie Roseman does it again. They stood pat at pick 22 and landed Quinion Mitchell, the consensus top cornerback in the draft. He fills a massive need for their secondary. Then they traded up in the second round to get another top corner in Cooper DeJong, a versatile playmaker who many thought would be a first-round pick. Getting two of the best defensive backs in the entire class is an incredible haul. The Eagles' defense just got a lot younger and a lot more talented. I also loved what the Pittsburgh Steelers did. They focused on rebuilding their offensive line, and they did it with authority. They took Troy Fortanu in the first round, Zach Frazier in the second, and Mason McCormick in the fourth. That's a commitment to winning in the trenches, the classic Steelers way. They want to run the ball and protect their new quarterbacks, Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. It's a smart, focused strategy that should pay immediate dividends. Now, on the flip side, which teams left us scratching our heads? We already mentioned the Atlanta Falcons and the Penix pick. It's just a confusing use of assets. You're paying Kirk Cousins to win now, but you're reusing your most valuable draft pick on a player who will sit on the bench. It ties up a lot of capital and creates a potentially awkward locker room dynamic. It's a bold strategy, but one that carries a ton of risk. Another team that made some questionable moves was the Buffalo Bills. They traded down twice in the first round, moving all the way from pick 28 to 32, and then out of the first round entirely. And in the process, they allowed their division rival Kansas City Chiefs to trade up and select Xavier Worthy, the fastest player in combine history. Giving Patrick Mahomes another speed demon to work with feels like a mistake, especially after the Chiefs knocked you out of the playoffs again. The Bills did get some good players later on, like receiver Keon Coleman, but that trade sequence in the first round was puzzling for a team in a win-now window. Looking at day 2 and 3, there were some incredible value picks. The Green Bay Packers had a fantastic draft, adding linebacker Edgerrin Cooper and safety Javon Bullard in the second round to athletic, high-impact defenders. The Packers are quietly building a real contender. The Baltimore Ravens, as always, just seem to find great players. They snagged cornerback Nate Wiggins in the first round, a perfect fit for their defense, and then added offensive tackle Roger Rosengarten in the second. They consistently draft well, and this year was no exception. One of my favorite sleeper picks of the draft was linebacker Peyton Wilson going to the Pittsburgh Steelers in the third round. If it weren't for his injury history, Wilson would have been a first-round talent. He was the most productive linebacker in college football last year. If he can stay healthy, he could be the steal of the draft and a future star for that Steelers defense. So, what does this all mean for the upcoming season? The NFC North is suddenly one of the most exciting divisions in football, with Caleb Williams and Rome Odunze in Chicago, J.J. McCarthy in Minnesota, and an already loaded Detroit Lions team. This division is going to be a battleground. In the AFC, the rich got richer. The Chiefs adding speed, and teams like the Steelers and Ravens reloading through the draft just reinforces the conference's depth. The 2024 NFL Draft has reshaped the landscape of the league. We have new franchise quarterbacks, revamped offensive lines, and bolstered defenses. It was a draft defined by offense, strategy, and a few massive surprises. Now, the real work begins for these rookies as they head to training camp to prove they belong. That's a wrap on our 2024 NFL Draft Review. What were your favorite picks? Which team do you think won the draft? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. I love reading and responding to all of them. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit that like button. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.